Hey, this is Jordan. I'm just doing my NFL predictions for a few over/under plays that I thought were pretty good this week. Um, so there's three under plays and one over play. Washington Buffalo under 36 and a half. I know that's a low over/under, but this is going to be an extremely low scoring game. I mean, this is Dwayne Haskins' first start. Buffalo is always a low scoring team. Yeah, I mean, except for that, when they scored 31 against the Dolphins, but the Dolphins have the worst defense in the NFL. So that's kind of like an outlier. I really think that it's going to be a really, really low scoring game. Yeah, under 36 and a half. Chicago versus Philadelphia under 41 and a half. Um, both these offenses have not been clicking at all. Both of them. To me, this seems like a perfect underplay because both the offenses have just been awful. So under 41 and a half for Chicago versus Philadelphia. Indianapolis versus Pittsburgh. Uh, I really think that this is going to be a low scoring game. I mean, there's going to be a lot of low scoring games, but I mean, these these ones are going to be really low scoring. Chicago, Philadelphia, Washington, Buffalo, and Indy, Pittsburgh. Indy, Pittsburgh is going to be low scoring, specifically to me because T.Y. Hilton's out. That's going to be a big thing. And Indianapolis has a great defense. I also think Pittsburgh has an underrated defense. I like T.J. Watt, and I like those guys. Um, Pittsburgh, they're not going to have James Conner. He's going to be out for the game, so that is a big deal. Like I said, T.Y. Hilton's also not playing. A lot of key offensive players are not playing for this game. That's a big thing. That's one of the big reasons I'm taking the under here. But under 40 and a half, that's another one that's like a pretty. All of these are pretty low numbers. So it sucks to have to take the under on such a low number. But man, there's a reason why they're so low. It is these games are going to be really low scoring. Yeah, Indy versus Pittsburgh. Jacoby Brissett's a good quarterback. Mason Rudolph's a good quarterback, but it's not like it's not like those guys are like gonna light it up and score a bunch of points. I really think this is gonna be a low scoring game. I really do like both of their defenses also, the Steelers and the Colts. So those are the three underplays. Washington Buffalo under 36 and a half. Chicago Philadelphia under 41 and a half, and Indy Pittsburgh under 40 and a half. The last one is Houston versus Jacksonville. This game is going to take place in London. Um, and I don't know if that'll affect it at all, but I just think I was thinking about it hard, and I realized that J.J. Watt, he's out for the season. He was like the leader of their defense. He was the best player on the defense, and Jadeveon Clowney's been gone for a while. He got traded to Seattle a while ago. So they're missing a lot of players on defense. I just really think that that's going to affect Houston. I still think they're going to win the game, but it's gonna allow Gardner Minshew in the offense of Jacksonville to score some points. And then on the other side, Jalen Ramsey, he was traded to the Rams, so that's going to affect Jacksonville's defense. So a lot of key defensive players are gone for this game. That's definitely one of the reasons why I'm taking the over here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, J.J. Watt, Jalen Ramsey, these guys are, Jadeveon Clowney. These guys are all really good defensive players. So I know there's a few injuries for Jacksonville on the offense, like I think Marquise Lee and D.D. Westbrook or something. I think they have like some injuries or something for the wide receivers, but I still don't think that it's going to affect them too much. I think those guys are like questionable. I don't think they're like um, I don't think it's determined if they're already out for the game. So if at least one of them plays, that'll help the offense. But yeah, I definitely think this will be a high scoring game. Over 46 and a half. 46 and a half is not a big over under. It's not that large. I mean, I thought it was actually going to be a little higher. It opened up at 47, so it really hasn't changed. Yeah, over 46 and a half. For Jacksonville versus Houston in London. I thought it was in Jacksonville because it's showing, but I never realized it's in London. So that always helps Jacksonville, to be honest, because they play really well in London. I don't know why, but Jacksonville seems to play well in London. So I still think Houston's going to win this game, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about over-unders, and I would take over 46.5. And then that's probably the only over I would take. The only other one I was looking at would be Detroit versus Oakland. Yeah, Detroit versus Oakland. That might. I mean, they don't have good defenses. That's one of the key reasons why I would take the over. They're just because they both have bad defense. But the offenses aren't like there's the Oakland doesn't have a full receiving core. Um, Detroit, they're missing on Johnson. Um, but I mean and 50.5 is kind of a high over under. So I would take the over. I would not take the under on that game because for some reason I see it being high scoring, but it might not. It might not might not be high enough to get over 50.5 points. Sorry. um, but whenever there's two bad defense matched up, especially Matt Stafford and Derek Carr, you always got to look at the quarterbacks. The other great quarterback matchup I saw was Philip Rivers versus Aaron Rodgers, and whenever you see a good QB matchup, you're like, okay, well that could be high scoring then. Um, the thing is LA's offense hasn't been playing well, and Green Bay, their defense is playing pretty well. I don't know. I wouldn't take the over or the under on that one. But yeah, and Cleveland versus Denver is kind of interesting because Cleveland is I don't know why they're only favored by a few points, but Denver's starting some new quarterback. Joe Flacco's out for the season. He's on IR. I mean, this should be a really low scoring game, but 39 is a pretty. I don't know. I don't know if I'd take under 39 for that because I think Cleveland could actually put up a lot of points. Um, but it is in Denver. That could be a very low scoring game, so that might be a good underplay under 39. But anyways, the plays here are Jacksonville, Houston over 46.5, Washington, Buffalo under 36.5, Chicago, Philadelphia um, under 41.5, and Indianapolis, Pittsburgh under 40.5.